I'm good. How are you? It's fight week.
Yeah, so, obviously you're coming off of, that huge fight against Shavkat. Now you're facing Carlos Prates. You had a fight booked against Buckley. That obviously didn't work out. But, you've taken these fights against, the four biggest killers, consecutively over the past 4 or 5 months now. First off, just what do you think that says about you? And secondly, how does Carlos stack up against the rest of them?
That just speaks to the character and the person I am. I'm born and bred in Dublin, Ireland. We're called the Fighting Irish for a reason. And I'm just out here putting that on display for the world to see. When you call me and you say, hey, Ian, do you want to fight? There's only one answer. It's only yes. It doesn't matter to me if it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 8 weeks. It's yes. And I'll do everything I can to make it possible and make that happen. And I love to fight. There's nothing more I love in this world than fighting. And I'm living my dream right now, fighting the best guys in the world. I have taken, on short notice, the toughest opponents in the world and the biggest killers in the division. And when I become the champion, I will still maintain that, because that is the champion mentality. It doesn't matter who, it doesn't matter when. I want to prove I'm the best against everyone. And I think Carlos is up there. I don't think, when you look at my previous opponents, I don't think he's as awkward as MVP. I don't think he's as fast as MVP. I don't think he's as well-rounded as Shavkat. And I think he's obviously just the awkwardness of it because I'm long and tall. He doesn't have the stylistic irritation that Jeff Neal does. So for me, this is a guy who I can go out there and put on full display that I am just levels and levels above him. And I'm excited to do it.
And, I know that you guys had a little bit of back and forth on social media. You put out a video essentially calling him a quitter because of a previous fight, and then he responded with a video of his own. Do you feel like, is this fight personal to you at all, or is this just pre-fight hype?
No, I like to do my job and watch my opponents and watch their fights, and I analyze, I start to read. Look, his team is called the Fighting Nerds. They do the same thing, but they've never seen a fight where I quit mid-fight. So when I seen that, right, he put his hand in the air, he waved at the ref and said, I'm done. I have never seen that in MMA. Now, we're talking about this guy being one of the baddest men in the division, 10-fight knockouts. Well, let's show the true Carlos Prates as well. When the going gets tough, he quits. And on Saturday night, I'm going to put him in that position where he has to make a choice, and I want him to quit.
He made some comments about, because you both have fought Neil Magny, how he's on a 4-fight knockout streak where a lot of your fights have gone to decision lately. What do you attribute that to?
Neil Magny's soul is in my back pocket as we speak right now. He has never been the same since I fought him. So good job. You did a good job against a guy you're better than. Congratulations. I'm not Neil Magny. And if you watch the fight against Neil Magny, you know I can do just the same things you did, if not better. I'm faster. I'm more talented. I'm more technical than this guy is. This guy's a one-trick pony. He's got a left hand, he's got a left knee, and he's got a left leg. They're all on one side. I've got everything I need. I can beat him everywhere for every second of this fight, and that's my plan on Saturday night.
Curious what your thoughts are. He's known for Carlos is known for smoking cigarettes and taking shots. I know that you're really into your health and your diet and things like that. What are your thoughts on Carlos smoking cigarettes? Do you think it affects his cardio?
Look, the dude smokes American cigarettes, drinks Irish whiskey. Meanwhile, I'm in Brazil having Guaraná, Açaí, and Paçoquita. I'm more Brazilian than this guy is. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not only this, I've got his whole country wanting me to win. And I think that's just, look, that's his life choices. That's nothing for me to get involved in. Do you know what I mean? He can do whatever he wants with his life, and we can all sit here and talk about it. At the end of the day, Saturday night, he's going to step into the octagon with someone who's a complete professional. I'm going to manhandle him any way, shape, and form I want. I will manipulate him, and there's nothing he can do to stop me.
I remember after your fight against Daniel Rodriguez, you guys ended up hanging out a little bit in Miami, I think. I forget where it was, but you guys became very good friends. I know that he was helping you a little bit in this camp. You reached out to him to help sort of emulate a southpaw, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Dude, he helped me for Jeff Neal. He came and was in my corner.
Yeah.
There's one thing that I think about fighting. When you share the octagon with another man, and you go out there and you prepare yourself to go out there and become victorious, regardless of what happened, when that cage door opens after the fight, there's nothing but respect. Carlos is someone that, I love Brazil. Brazil has a very special part in my heart. You know what I mean? I'm here representing Shoot the Box and everything that team means to me, I love. But I also want to see all the Brazilians do well. I love Brazil. It has a very special part in my soul, in my heart. I'm very proud to carry the Machado name, carry my wife's family name. So for me, I would love to see all the Brazilians do well. So after this fight, if he ever needs my help, then I'm in. Because I want to see them all win. But I just don't want to see them do better than me.
I mentioned you hanging out with D-Rod after the fight. Would you see yourself maybe potentially having an after-fight cigarette with Carlos Prates?
I don't smoke.
Okay.
I don't smoke, so I won't. But I tell you what, we can sit down and chat about how I knocked him out, and I can teach him how to get a little bit better.
Last one from me. Just curious about your thoughts on the fight nerds and just sort of how they've sort of taken over MMA or become very popular over the past 5-6 months.
I love them.
Yeah.
I absolutely love them. I think what they're doing is phenomenal. The confidence, the attitude in the way they fight, I think it's amazing. And it takes a special type of tension or personality like Jean in the last fight to be able to point at someone mid-fight, talk to them mid-fight, and then go out there and just completely annihilate them. I think they're amazing. I think they're a team that are doing very well, and I'm excited to see them unfold, and I'm excited to see how they go. My favorite is Rufi. That guy's style is absolutely beautiful. I've said it once, I'll say it again. It reminds me of an OG Conor McGregor, the old school, and I think they're a team that's doing very well, but Saturday night I'm going to end their undefeated streak.
Sorry, one more. What do you think a win does for you, just in terms of like the eyes of the fans? Because it does seem like fans have sort of started to like warm up to you over the past year, just from all the fights you've taken. With a win, do you feel like what do you think that does for you?
When I win on Saturday night and I put on the show I'm going to put on against Carlos Prates and I finish him, there is no other option. I am next. You take these fights on short notice, you show up, you save the card. That means I'm next. And if anyone has a problem, guess what? I love to fight. When I win that belt, you can come see me in that octagon.
Just a quick question. What would you like to say to all the fans that they are coming on Saturday night to watch the fight?
On Saturday night, everyone who's paid money to sit in that arena and everyone who tunes in at home and watches live is going to see one of the greatest athletes the UFC has seen in a long, long time. I'm going to go out there and show why I'm the future of this organization, and I'm going to do it against one of their favorite fighters. I'm going to dismantle him. I'm going to show that I'm just better in every single way, shape, and form, and I'm going to make it look easy.
Thank you.
Ian, a couple of questions. First one, you've talked about Carlos quitting mid-fight before, so it got me curious. On Saturday, is your game plan in an ideal world? Would you love to go out and get like a quick knockout, or would you really want to drag him into deeper waters and, potentially simultaneously finish him, but then also prove that point as well?
Sorry, I hear my coach just say yes in the background. For me, there's two ways I like it, right? If I go out and I knock him out in 20 seconds, he has mental excuses. It was just he landed that one shot. I love fights. You ever watch GSP, Josh Koscheck? And everyone's like, Josh Koscheck is the best wrestler we've ever seen. And what happened? GSP went out and dominated him. Josh Koscheck has no excuses in that fight. I love a fight where I go out start to finish and I dominate. And there's no way Carlos Prates can sit at home and go to bed and go and say anything else but Ian Machado Garry is just better in every single way, shape, and form.
Another question. You talk about wanting to be active. I mean, you accept pretty much any fight that comes to you. So hypothetically, if you get through Saturday night with a win, would you be at all interested if something were to pop up last minute to take the call in a couple of weeks and fight for the belt? Or would you need a little bit more time to turn around and potentially get that opportunity?
What if I told you my flights were already booked? I'm ready. I'm always ready. I'm born to fight. It's what I do, mate.
And last one for me, as somebody who studies the game like you do, I'm just curious to get your thoughts on Sean Brady's performance, with his fight with Leon Edwards. I know that, the Leon Edwards fight was the one that you wanted for a while. So would Sean Brady be somebody you'd be interested in fighting in the future? And overall, just what do you think of his performance?
I think he looked great. I think he did exactly what he needed to do. I think he's seen what Bilal did against Leon and went, that's the perfect way to beat him. He went out and he dominated him from start to finish and he made Leon look like a child. I think that's a performance he should be very proud of, but if he ever steps into the octagon with me, I'll knee him in the face and I'll reconstruct his nose.
Good luck on Saturday.
Appreciate you.
Hello, sir. And first of all, nice to meet you again. And it will be nice to hear Eric Clapton once again on Saturday night. I hope it will be.
It will be. Don't you worry.
That's
that
great.
song's never changing. There's too much love for that woman in my life. And when I hear that Layla song, it makes me think of that. So I'll always fight.
One of my favorite. So, speaking of the UFC, your only bonus for the performance of the night was at the only fight night. Carlos Prates has 4 fights in the UFC and 4 performances of the night bonuses. So, should we expect the best fight of 2025 so far?
To find the best, if you want to talk about a one-sided mauling, then yes. But I don't think he's going to have much to offer for me. He'll be up here, he'll sit here confidently, and he'll say whatever he wants to say, and he should say it, because he is riding a 10-fight knockout streak. Shavkat was 18-0 with 18 finishes. How did that fight go? I think he left that octagon feeling a lot less of a man than he was beforehand. I'm telling you now, on Saturday night against Carlos Prates, look, this guy might have 4 bonuses against 4 nobodies. I've got more wins in the top 15 than he does in the fights in the UFC. I'm a different animal. I fight. It's what I do. I love this. And on Saturday night, I'm going to prove to Carlos and everyone watching that I am simply better.
And one more for me. There are now lots of rumors that Islam Makhachev wants to go up to...
He's so good. He's so good.
Are you looking forward to face him?
I've said this, right? So I believe Bilal's going to win in Canada against Jack Della Maddalena if they fight. And I believe Jack is just going to get swallowed. I think Bilal has everything to beat him. And then I know there's team complications, or Bilal doesn't want to fight Islam because of the training and stuff like that. So then I fight Bilal, I beat Bilal, and then there's a choice. Do I defend against the pound-for-pound number 1 and Islam Makhachev and welcome him up to the welterweight division, or do I fight Shavkat Rakhmonov after he comes off the injury that I prevented him from fighting for the belt right now? I have nothing but love and respect as a fighter and a fight fan for Islam Makhachev. I think he's phenomenal, and there is a reason why that man is number 1 in the world. If he wants to come up and I have that belt, it would be an absolute honor to share the octagon with him and prove to myself and the world the talents that I have. I think he's phenomenal. I think he's amazing. I think it would be an incredibly tough fight because he's amazing everywhere. But I believe both me and Islam show the new evolution of MMA fighters. You can't be good in one area. You have to be great in every area. And that's what I believe me and Islam are. So if that fight's ever on the cards, then out of respect for that man and everything that he's done, it would be an honor. It would be an honor to share the octagon with him.
And very last one from me. You said that if you win, you want to be next for the title. But if Della Maddalena win, it's obviously that Islam Makhachev will be next for the title. So does it mean that you will cheer Bilal in Montreal?
Well, it's not that I'm going to cheer for Bilal. I just think he's going to win. I think he has... I've seen Jack Della Maddalena being ragdolled by people that aren't as good as that game as Bilal. So I think it's a perfect stylistic fight for Bilal. But to your point, if Jack wins and Islam Makhachev comes up, then every single person in the welterweight division can sit the fuck down and give that man the respect he deserves. Does that make sense? He's the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. What you do is you sit down, you shut your mouth, and you say, okay, you're next.
So you're good with that?
100%. I give that man respect, and I'll just tell him that I'm next. Does that make sense? When he fights, I'll fight him afterwards. But I'll give him the respect he deserves, and I believe everybody else in the top 15 should do the same.
Thank you, sir. Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a great day. Enjoy the show. Go ahead.
Sorry, this just popped up yesterday, actually. Conor McGregor put out a tweet to Michael Chandler about, that basically implying, that we have unfinished business. Then Michael Chandler responded. Just curious, as a fellow Irishman, do you think that he is trolling Michael Chandler at this point, or do you think that he actually does want to come back and fight? What are your thoughts?
I think he's the best in the world at getting people to talk about him. And no matter what he does, we're always going to talk about him.